And welcome to Sports Talk with Denise Harris. Welcome. Okay, we're doing this tonight because I didn't get to it last night. And then I'm going to go right after this. We're going to take a short interval. And I'll be back and talk about some Walking Dead. Unfortunately, Michelle couldn't be with us tonight. I am not going to say why. That is up to her to tell you, okay? But it's great news, so yay! But I'm sure she'll be posting on Facebook. She should tell you, not me. Anyway, let's get started with this. We're going to talk about the Divisional Playoffs. Did your team win? Okay, Lamar, what happened? Mr. Wonderful didn't produce, apparently, so... wow, yeah. Okay, let me get this in and we'll get right to it. Did your teams get in? Mine did one anyway, finally. Wow, 49ers, go figure, right? Man, they whooped some butt. It's like, wow, they were getting beat 21-0, and bam, that was all she wrote. It was, wow. They were like, this ain't happening, and they did it. So congrats. Let me get these notifications in, and we'll get into it a little bit more. Okay, let's get this almost done. And we'll talk about some news around the league. Apparently the Browns have picked Steve from the Vikings to be our head coach. So looking good. He's going to beef up that offensive line too and a tackle. So we'll talk about that too. I could spell correctly, I could get this done a lot faster, right? Jeez. The Ravens definitely did not play up to par. That's for sure. I'm sure everybody was picking them to really kick butt. They didn't show up. So, it was so funny because I was watching one game, and the one team got a flag, and the announcer was like, okay, that's enough, I'm done. Everybody's had it with these officials this year. So that's another thing. They better, and we're going to get into some of the officials, what they make for the season, and I think you're going to be a little surprised, because I sure was. I was like, no freaking way. And again, we are the only, sports venue that does not have full-time officials, referees, and whatever. They are not full-time, and that needs to be addressed. Nobody is on the same page at all, which was quite obvious this year. So, I hope the hell they fix it, because it's costing teams games, and it is so out of hand already. I just don't get it. I don't, and I'm done with it. So, anyway, yeah, I know, you're tired of hearing me preach that every week, but it is the truth. And that's just how it is. So, anywho, okay, just about done here. Get you some facts and stuff going on. So what do you guys think happened to the Ravens? What happened? Wow. Mr. Wonderful, Mr. MVP, dropped the ball, apparently. I just don't know. It was kind of crazy. I was shocked. I was like, whoa. They didn't. They were not hungry enough, apparently. So, okay, we are good on that. Now we'll get into some nitty gritty here. Okay. Yeah, the Titans are 28-12 too. That wasn't even a game, really. I don't know. The Ravens, they did not play like they had been. That is for sure. Don't know what happened. It was crazy. Crazy. Don't know what happened to them. Just don't know. So anyway, you had the Titans, or Titans won, which I was like, wow. Then you had the Texans and Chiefs, the poor Texans. Although they didn't do bad at all, they played well. They put up 31 points. Unfortunately, the Chiefs put up 51, so that kind of put a damper on that. Yeah, 51 points. Like, whoa. They were down 21-0, and next thing you know, they're just pounding it into the ground. 51-31. Holy crap. Then you had the Seahawks and the Panthers. And the Packers did win over the Seahawks 28-23. That squeaked by. I know Rodgers was worried. It was crazy. That was a crazy game. I thought, oh my God, they're going to, blow it at the end, because it really could have come close. And for next week, we have the conference championships going on. And we have the Packers and the 49ers. Okay, on air, I'm picking the 49ers. They're my only team left here. And we have the Titans and the Chiefs. Ooh. That's going to be a close one, I think. I really do. I think it's going to be the 49ers and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That's my prediction. Who do you think's going to be in the Super Bowl? So I'm asking you out there, who do you think is going to the Super Bowl? My pick is it's going to be Chiefs and 49ers, which would be a fantastic game. Yeah, I think it's going to be the 49ers and Chiefs. Titans are going to be tough to beat, though, but that's my picks. Not got Lovato correct. Jeez. Okay, so that's my prediction. Those were good games over the weekend, except for the Chiefs. They just blew them out. It was crazy. Yeah, experts see, and they also see a Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl happening. Crazy. The picture looks good for them, I think, but we shall see. Okay. Yeah, it was a crazy game. It started with the Chiefs shockingly overcame a 24-point home deficit, mind you, against the Texans to win 51-31. No matter how good Mahomes and company were in that game, some of the blame has to be on embattled Texans head coach Bill O'Brien for some horrible coaching decisions. Horrible. And over in the NFC, Green Bay Packers were clicking on all cylinders against the Seahawks, and they won, of course, 28-23. And unfortunately, Russell Wilson was kind of the only one playing, it looked like. And he was trying to be a one-man show. But he almost led his team back from an 18-point second-half deficit, which is amazing in itself. It's just too bad he didn't have any help. So the Packers are set to head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Crazy, crazy. The Kansas City Chiefs offense is stupid good. They are crazy. When 99% of NFL teams fall behind 24-0 in a playoff game, they panic, correct? Yeah. And we saw panic when it came to Chiefs fans. But not Mr. Patrick Mahomes, of course not. Cool Mahomes calmed his offense down on the sideline. And the end result was the greatest comeback in the NFL playoffs since the Buffalo Bills eons ago. And I do mean eons. Riding an offense that scored touchdowns on a record 7 consecutive possessions. So the dominating offense sets the stage moving forward. Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns. Travis Kelce broke multiple records. He is so awesome. He is just so awesome. Travis Kelce in the second quarter. It was an eye-opening performance from NFL's most electric offense and meeting with the Titans in the championship game. Packers are hitting their stride on offense, but is it going to be enough against the 49ers? I doubt it. I don't think they're good enough to do that. But it's hitting its stride under first-year head coach Matt LaFleur, and he has a lot to be proud of. That is for sure. Nothing wrong with that, excuse me. That came out in droves against a lackluster Seahawks defense. It really was. But Aaron Rodgers connected 8 out of 11 pass attempts. There was a lot of ground play. He didn't really throw a lot. But Davante Adams was absolutely dominant for 160 yards. And Aaron Jones put up 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. But at the performance, it's going to be tested, and they better be on point heading into Santa Clara to face the 49ers on Sunday. They could pull off an upset if that's an indication of how they're going to play. We will see. I think Bill O'Brien is clearly over his head in the NFL. It's highly unlikely Houston Texans brass decides to fire O'Brien, though, after 6 home seasons. However, we think he should do just that. That was a horrible display of in-game coaching against Kansas City. Going conservative with the team up 21-0, faking a punt from the 31-yard line in a 3-score game. It's readily apparent that O'Brien is not the guy to lead these guys. It's pretty obvious. Of course, he was vastly outcoached by veteran Andy Reid, who has also struggled in January, though. But the coaching performance was a penultimate final chapter in what should be O'Brien's coaching career in Houston. It should be done. And Russell Wilson obviously needs more help. It was readily apparent throughout the regular season the Seahawks were lacking the talent outside their MVP caliber quarterback. Obviously. And all of this came back to haunt the team during Sunday's loss to the Packers. If it weren't for Wilson putting up yet another dynamic performance, Seattle would have been blown out totally. Of course, he was under duress throughout the game, hit 10 times, 5 sacks, and defensively, the Seahawks secondary was torched by Davante Adams. As if there's anything we learned from the divisional round, it's that general manager John Schneider and company must improve the roster during the off-season. Wilson put up north of 340 total yards, and it still wasn't good enough. So, So the stage is set for the championship on Sunday. Woo! And of course, it's the single greatest Sunday of football. 2 games, 4 teams, 2 go. Only Kansas City made the playoffs last season of all those that advanced. Some might conclude this is a wide open field. The Chiefs and the 49ers open as big home favorites. Of course they do. But watch out, those Titans are sneaky. Look what they did. I was wondering if they were going to beat them, but they did. So, and of course, Aaron Rodgers taking on the team he grew up rooting for. So there you go. I think it's going to be the Chiefs 49ers, as do the experts. These two best teams remain in the playoffs. San Francisco had its way with a lesser Viking squad, and the Chiefs laid down the law against the Texans. The contrast with these two teams would set up one hell of a Super Bowl. Kansas City's offense putting up an absolute clinic against Houston. In a hypothetical Super Bowl outing, it would go up against the 49ers defense that is coming off one of the most dominant outings we've seen in NFL playoff history. This is the Super Bowl we want to see. Two contrasting styles, a dominant offense, one of the game's most physical defenses, and reigning NFL MVP Patrick Mahomes against the quarterback and Jimmy Garoppolo, who is now 20-5 as a starter. Make it so. That's what I say. Make it so. Right? What do y'all think? I am so excited. So excited. So some of the things we did learn from the divisional playoffs. And it's, of course, the NFL's 100th season coming to a close. Isn't that amazing? The league is entering a new era. This is the first time the round of 8 did not include Tom Brady and company, Peyton Manning, or Ben Roethlisberger since the 2002 postseason. Crazy. And by the way, that was a rumor about him buying a house in Connecticut, just to let you know. And that will extend, of course, to the conference championship weekend. And, of course, the Super Bowl team will not be quarterbacked by one of the vaunted trio of passers for only the second time since 2003. Crazy. Still, it's very good to know the beginning of the next NFL century is in capable hands of such established and blossoming passers like Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, and of course Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm sorry, he needs to be in that list. Rodgers is the only quarterback in the championship round who's played in a Super Bowl. The NFC is going to be represented in the Super Bowl by the sixth, mind you, different team in the past 6 years. For the first time since the 2015 Broncos won it all, the AFC's team will not be the Patriots. We'll have to see what pans out with that. I think him and Belichick will stay one more year. Kind of a chip on the shoulder thing, like, that wasn't us. As I understand it, he had a foot injury along with that elbow that's been bothering him for a while. So, but no excuses, right? Okay, the sentimental Super Bowl vote has to be with the Chiefs coach Andy Reid, especially on a weekend. And congrats to Bill Cowher and of course Jimmy Johnson. Oh, those were moments, weren't they, when they were told, I thought Jimmy Johnson was going to need an inhaler there. I really did. Andy Reid in this 21st season as a head coach seeks his first Lombardi trophy. The other three surviving head coaches, Tennessee's Mike Vrabel, Green Bay's Matt LaFleur, and San Francisco's Kyle Shanahan, have 6 combined seasons of experience. Crazy. Lamar Jackson, I tend to disagree a little, but he was said to be the most talented player on the field Saturday. Even the majority of his yards, 365 passing and 143 rushing, came in garbage time of Baltimore's stunning loss. Still, he became the first person in playoff history to pass for at least 300 yards and rush for at least 100, his latest mind-blowing stat from a 2019 campaign. However, the presumptive league MVP he committed 3 turnovers, which makes a valid argument to be made that maybe Titans running back Derrick Henry would be MVP frontrunner. if the vote was conducted after the playoffs. Maybe it should be. Derrick Henry, holy crap! Can anybody stop him? Can anybody stop George Kittle? Holy crap! That man is amazing. I love his attitude. I love the way he plays, and of course, don't forget Nick Bosa. He's out there just crushing them, man, crushing them. Henry has been the most dominant and most valuable player in the league the past 3 weeks. He won the rushing title. Well, not much over Chubb at the time. It was like, oh no. But you go Chubb. He's in the Pro Bowl. And he was the first player ever to top 180 rushing yards in 3 consecutive games. And did you see that TD pass he threw? That was pretty great. I was like, what? So great. And a belated vote, I think, would also likely bring Mahomes. He was a 2018 NFL MVP back into the conversation. He was absolutely amazing while outdueling Deshaun Watson. Mahomes also joined Super Bowl 43 MVP Doug Williams 22. If I could read, it'd be great. As the only players to throw 4 TD passes in 1 quarter of postseason football. So, the Titans overcame the league's top-ranked scoring defense and offense Ravens in successive weeks. Wow. Hope that doesn't go to their head here. The Titans were outgained by 230 yards, the biggest deficit for a winning team in postseason history. An inefficient Ravens offense was the big thing that day. It was crazy. The Ravens did convert all 8 of their 4th and 1 attempts, but were 0 for 2 against the Titans. Yeah, they were just, if they had a 4 and 1 or 4 and 2, they just went for it and got it. There's no question. But they did not get it. It was crazy. Russell Wilson, who finished his college career at Wisconsin, is now 0 4 at Lambeau Field. It's a Lambeau curse. But Rodgers is just 1 3 on the road against the 49ers. So it was kind of crazy. The Texans remain the only one of the NFL's 32 teams never to play for a conference championship. With only 18 seasons to their credit, the Texans are the league's youngest franchise. So, crazy little tidbits here, right? Ryan Tannehill's kind of iffy, though. You got to watch him. He can get hot and cold. I don't know if he's going to be hot this coming weekend or not. So, we'll have to wait and see which Tannehill comes out. So, there were 5 Heisman Trophy winners on the field in the Titans-Ravens game. Derrick Henry, Jackson, Mark Ingram, Marcus Mariota, and RG3, who did not play. So, but there were 5 of them there. Levi Stadium will host its first NFC Championship game when the Niners face the Packers. Woo-hoo! So, and they advanced to their 16th NFC Championship game. Only the Steelers have been to the championship round as many times. It's gonna be great. So, lots of good things happening. Kevin Stefanski, who was the Browns' coach now. Should be interesting. I don't know. They wanted, actually, though, before Kitchens was named head coach, they wanted him, but Dorsey is the one who made the decision. Otherwise, we'd have done had him by now. So that was things we learned from the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Can't wait. It's going to be really good, I think. So let's go to some news. Okay. Of course, some people think they were snubbed for the Hall of Fame, but that remains to be seen. Luke Kuechly. Oh, he is such a wonderful guy. And played so hard, and he was always a factor. The Carolina Panthers star linebacker joins the wave of stars, including Gronk, Luck, and Megatron, who chose their health over football. He has officially retired at 28. After he announced his retirement after 8 seasons. He thanked his Carolina Panthers teammates and coaches, his parents, of course, his brother, his girlfriend, and all the fans. Left out of his speech were 2 men who almost certainly influenced his decision. By retiring at 28 at the apex of a career defined by consistent excellence, as much as repeated concussions, which was a battle for him, Luke Kuechly joined the former Colts quarterback Andrew Luck and former Patriot tight end Rob Gronkowski as age 30 stars, who in the last 10 months chose long-term health over short-term success. Before these announcements, though, players retiring in what seemed to be their prime were regarded with shock a little bit. Calvin Johnson of the Lions, Megatron, of course, 49ers linebacker Patrick Willis, 5-time first-team All-Pro. He retired in early 2015 and was the same age. All this together, it represents a landmark and shift. The players are in their priorities. Their health is coming first, and I don't blame them. But the league's warrior culture is eroding, dismantled by scientific research, financial security, and increasing awareness among players that continuing the game they love may damage their quality of life, maybe. Luke Kuechly declared his intentions during the middle of a postseason teeming with upsets, tense games, and memorable plays. But the most poignant moment of these playoffs might have come in an interview room where, after losing at Green Bay on Sunday, Seattle running back Marshawn Lynch launched into an unprompted soliloquy, advising teammates to take care of their bodies, minds, and finances. Crazy. They're saying, of course, players are getting smarter, because they're taking their health long term. They don't want to be beat up and crippled, when they do retire. Kuechly did not mention any specific injuries or the multiple concussions he has sustained, but he has spoken about struggling to recognize the difference between what he can tolerate and what he should. Okay? Of course, most NFL players, they glorify playing through pain, propagated by fans, media, coaches, and the players themselves. How many times, he had a broken foot for 3 games. Excuse me? How the hell do you play with that? But that's, he had Phillip Rivers, who played through a torn knee ligament. Jeez, cripe. Look at Carson Wentz. He, tore the hamstring off the bone. Dear God, I can't even imagine how much that had to hurt. You had Jack Youngblood, a broken fibula. Of course, Jimmy Garoppolo had his knee. Or to have Ronnie Lott had, he elected to have a part of a broken finger amputated to avoid extended post-surgery recovery. It's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. Josh McCown. What am I saying? He was playing Carson Wentz took himself out of the game. He absorbed a helmet-to-helmet hit and took himself out of the game. And Josh McCown played the second half of a loss to Seattle. He tore his hamstring off the bone. Dear God, I can't even imagine the pain with that. But Luke Kuechly also had some shoulder problems. Missed 7 games because of concussions between 2015 and 17. In a frightening episode in 2016 against New Orleans, he was carted off the field crying, his face a bewildered portrait of anguish. So it's kind of crazy. So he did retire. So good luck to you, Luke Kuechly. Wow, gonna miss him. He was great, a linebacker. Of course, Roethlisberger will be back next year. Excuse me. And there could be 3 Stefanski leaked agents that could alter Cleveland Browns draft plans. Of course, where the Browns need help does not have to solely rely on the draft. And these 3 players with links to Stefanski could help. Of course, we have the weapons. We have Odell Beckham, Kareem Hunt, Sheldon Richardson, Greedy Williams. But these players were not utilized to how they should have been. But there were some big holes in the offensive line. There was a trade that sent Kevin Zettler to the Giants, as well as the failure of Austin Corbett to take a spot. But at tackle, Greg Robinson and Chris Hubbard were less than ideal. And problems with depth and a drop-off in play from safety Randall. So, now with the new coach, they look to make good on the hype from a season ago, but they have to fill these holes. Not all the moves have to come from the draft. There's some free agents with their ties to Stefanski that could change them. Notable omission, Trevor Siemian, quarterback. The Browns could stand to add a savvy veteran backup quarterback, and Trevor Siemian is set for free agency. Siemian spent 2018 with the Vikings, working with Stefanski before joining the Jets. He'll be backup, of course. So we shall see what we shall see. So he's hopefully we'll get some. We need to fill those holes. So we'll see if any of those will follow him. So, wow, crazy. Can anybody stop Tyreek Hill? Crazy. Oh my God, though. The dang 49ers, they are just crazy. And I really do like them to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to go. So that is what is going on. Let me know what you think. New England for the draft. I mean, yeah, it's a couple months away, but they have a lot of holes to fill. They really do. I think Tom Brady will go back at least for another year. So, you know, there is apparently that rumors Tom Brady and Gazelle don't have Connecticut home. He's like, no. Could ex-Giants coach Ben McAdoo join the Eagles as OC? Tyreek Hill. Nobody in the NFL can guard his Chiefs pass catchers. So, Steelers optimistic. Colbert will be back in 2020. Supposedly, Jason Garrett is interviewing for a vacant OC job with the Giants. Excuse me. NFL rumor. Here's a rumor. A.J. Francis, he's a defensive lineman who is with the Giants, ex-Giants defensive lineman, has signed with the WWE to become a pro wrestler. Oh, there you go. He'll have to work his way up, but they think he's going to do well. So, NFL rumors, 49ers Joe Woods is a finalist for Browns defensive coordinator. Oh. Yeah, he's linked to the DC in Cleveland. Wow. Joe Woods, he's a 49ers defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator. He's a finalist to become the DC, so for the Browns. Kevin Stefanski has narrowed his choices for DC to Steve Wilkes, Joe Woods. That's it, one of the two. Woods says 49. He's been an AC in the NFL since 2004. He was a Denver Broncos DC from 2017 through 18. So, and they also interviewed 49ers DC Robert Saleh, of course, as part of the search. He has the makings of a future head coach, but Kyle Shanahan admitted reporters he was excited to have Saleh on his staff. He's going to stay with the 49ers in through 2020. Here's something interesting. Tony Romo is going to be like the highest paid sportscaster. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry. I did not like him as a player, and I don't like him playing the calls on the game. I'm just like, a sportscaster, Tony Romo? No. I'm sorry. I don't like the guy. Never have. I don't know what it is they see in him, but okay. Crazy. That is, I don't know. Wow. The Giants were denied permission to interview Brian Daboll by the Bills as the Giants search for an OC to pair with their new head coach. They got Joe Judge. So, Daboll was a candidate for the head coaching job with Cleveland, but of course, Stefanski has it. And like I said, he was considered before Kitchens got the job. They would have picked him over Kitchens, but of course, Dorsey picked Kitchens, and he's no longer there either. Vikings cornerback Mike Hughes. He's on injured reserve. He has a fractured bone in his neck. Ouch! Dang! Jeez. Hopefully it'll heal good for him. And, Tyreek Hill's like, he feels like nobody in the NFL could guard any of us. And he's like, no disrespect to nobody. That's just the confidence I have in myself and the wideouts I've got around me, including the tight ends and the running backs. I feel like no DB unit, no secondary unit, no linebacker, or any defense can guard any of us. So man-to-man is just easy for us to beat. And of course, the Titans definitely struggled to stop the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes threw for 446 yards, with Hill catching 11 passes for 157. This was in the regular season, of course. It was kind of crazy. Tennessee defense may decide to take away Hill. They could shut down the Kansas City offense. I don't know. And of course, Derrick Henry, can he do it? We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So that's the rumor mills news and what is going on. So I made my picks. 49ers and Chiefs for the Super Bowl. That's what I think. We shall see what happens. We'll see what happens in the draft. We'll see if Brady's, going to stay in New England. Could ex-Giants coach Ben McAdoo join the Eagles offense? Of course, all that. Roethlisberger will be back. I'm sorry, I don't think he's quite. I think he should be done. I'm sorry, but that's it. He is not my favorite person. Not my favorite person at all. So, but anyway, we'll see what happens, this coming year. I love George Kittle. It's going to be great. Jimmy Garoppolo, Nick Bosa, Emmanuel Sanders. Oh my God, what a team! I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So, anyway, that wraps it up for Sports Talk. We'll wrap it up next week until the Super Bowl. And then after the Super Bowl, we'll discuss what was what. And that'll be it for me until preseason again. So, hope you enjoyed Sports Talk. And 2 more times. And done for this season. Oh, man. I know. It just went so quick this year. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to me jabber. It's kind of late. I think I'll wait for Friday. I'll do some of The Walking Dead because Hollywood Review doesn't take long. And I want to get a little earlier for you guys. We'll talk about The Walking Dead. Tomorrow night, join me for DWD, the 70s, 80s, 90s. The best music of those decades. Friday, I'll do Walking Dead Planet. We'll talk about some of the things that may be going on. Maybe not too long. It will be, second half of the season. Woohoo! Can't wait. Going to be awesome. And then TWBD will be back on Tuesday nights. And then next Wednesday will be the Book Corner. And we're going to do some Stephen King and some Laurel K. Hamilton. So, 2 authors next Wednesday, Stephen King and Laurel K. Hamilton. So, be ready for that. So, anyway, I will see you all tomorrow night on DWD. Have a great Thursday, almost the weekend, right? Okay. Thanks for listening, you guys. Let me know what teams you're going to pick for the Super Bowl. You can get a hold of me at KBLP LLC on Facebook, KBLP LLC4 on YouTube. Get a hold of me, okay? I want to know. We'll see how we do, right? Okay. All right, guys. Have a great night. Peace out, y'all.